for the past 28 years, and you have been featured on ABC, Dr. Oz, Wendy Williams, Radio 1, to name a few. Also, you were awarded one of Baltimore's 2016 Woman of Passion, Poise, and Purpose by the Baltimore Times. What can you share with the listening audience on how one can reach this momentous feat?
Well, that comes back to consistency and being visible. So if you're not visible, if you never ever support anyone else, then the support's not going to come to you, number one. If you're not consistent, then you confuse people. So continuing being resilient in what you do, not thinking that, because you've been in business for 6 months that you belong on this big platform or this big plateau. People are watching. Whether you think they're watching or not, they are watching. Just because they don't hit that like button, just because they don't comment, people are watching. Now Facebook is telling on people they saw your post but they didn't like it. But people are watching regardless, and they're looking for your consistency. A lot of times people say, is this a fly-by-night business, or is she serious about business? Be serious about your business. Be consistent. The more you post, your name will get out. Be someone who is approachable. If people don't feel warm and feel comfortable enough coming to you, asking you questions, then you're not going to get far in your business. Surround yourself with people who are doing things that you want to do. So if you want to be on television, if you want to be in magazines, if you want to get, if you want to reach monumental heights, then you have to do monumental things. So a lot of the things that I accomplished was through developing the community event, the Recharge Expo. And I did that as a dedication to my dad after he died from a heart attack in his sleep at 59. And so I did it more in memory of my dad, and I felt like 59 is very young to have a heart attack. So I said, you know what, I don't want another family to go through what our family went through, losing him so young, and now predisposing me, my sister, my brother, all of us to heart disease. Because once a parent dies from a heart disease or an ailment like that, now you're directly predisposed. So I started this expo just as a way to say, you know what, let's get people in the know about their numbers. Let's get people in the know about what they need to do so they don't have to deal with what our family dealt with. Plus, I wanted to remember my dad. Well, from that, being a free community event and giving back to the community, that's where I got a lot of the kudos, a lot of the awards and things like that. People saw that I was doing something that was notable in the community. So don't be afraid to give of yourself. It's not always about the money. Sometimes you have to give of yourself, and then the money will come later.
Yes, the money starts chasing you down at a certain point. Of like you say, you have to give yourself first. Mm-hmm. And Mrs. Goode, you are changing the paradigm of empowerment and inspiration. I must say, changing the whole trajectory of inspiration. And what you've given us is a strong foundation of knowledge and real-world experiences that you have went through, as well as skills, and showing us how to perfect our crafts as well, to be learn-centered individuals. And so this is really teaching us and developing us, and you are empowering the people. You're transforming, educating, inspiring the world by sharing your story and your testimony, because health is wealth. Health is wealth. And so, showing people how to be healthy and living longer lives is truly, truly such a blessing for the listening audience to hear that. And someone's going to take hold to what you're sharing. They're going to take hold, and it's going to be life-changing. It's going to actually save someone's life to say, look, I need to be more focused on my health. My health is the primary concern in my life, and I need to change some things. So I really appreciate that you're sharing about health and self-care and empowerment, because this is very much what's needed, very much what's needed, and for people to hear that and to inspire them to navigate them in a whole totally different direction. It's an integral part of our key development in our life, and continue to be that vessel of love that you are.
Thank you.
You are so very welcome. And can you give us an example in your life where you were able to gain from the pain by turning a situation of adversity to your victory in your life?
Oh, yes. We all go through something. We all go through some pain at some point in our life. And I would say one of my most painful moments in my life, which I wrote about, which was my #1 bestseller, The Crash That Altered My Life. I went through a horrific divorce in 2007. I was married for 14 years to the father of my 2 sons, and he just decided one day he didn't want to be married anymore. And so, it rocked my world because we had developed so much together. We were in business together. And so literally I went from being a 6-figure entrepreneur with a husband to being an instant single mom and bankrupt. And so it actually sparked a different fire in me because I'm not a quitter. And so it sparked a fire in me to say, you know what, you're an entrepreneur at heart. Get up, dust the dirt off of your clothes and your feet, and keep it moving. I relocated my family, myself and my kids. I moved back to Maryland where my support system was, and I started a new business because I lost myself in that process. Anyone who's gone through divorce, you start to question a lot of things about your life. And then being an instant single mom, I was like, I didn't sign up for this. I was a wife, and I had 2 kids from a marriage, and I was like, I did things right, and now I'm questioning everything about life, and times got hard. Financially, it got hard. Emotionally, it was hard, and so that's where Total Harmony Enterprises came from. I was under an insurmountable amount of stress, and borderline depressed. And, my kids kept me alive because a lot of days I just wanted to stay in bed. But that wasn't feasible because they had to go to school. They had to eat. And I knew that they were watching me. And so that's where the birth of Total Harmony Enterprises happened, helping people, especially women, in the rut of life to overcome stress and stressful situations and finding ways to just find themselves again and perform self-care. Because I was so used to giving to everybody else, giving to a husband, giving to 2 kids, that I lost myself in the process. And so sometimes because as women, we take on so many roles. We're moms, we're the cook, we're the driver, we're the sports person, we're everything to everybody else, but we oftentimes put ourselves last on the calendar, last on the plate, and we lose ourselves. And then when tragic situations happen, we fall apart because more and more women are starting to develop mental illness and depression because they don't perform self-care, taking just at least 10 minutes every day just to love on themselves. So that's where that pain I feel like I've gained because I've helped so many women who felt like they were the only one in the world that was going through what they were going through. And to hear my story, and they say, well, you look so well put together. And I would tell them, we never look like what we've been through. And you don't have to. What you have to do is keep going day by day. And don't look 10 years down the line. Don't look 5 years down the line. Don't even look at next month. Every day you wake up, count it as a blessing that you're alive to get a do-over to fix whatever it is that you didn't like about yesterday. And so I've touched so many women's lives. As a matter of fact, this Saturday, because of that, I created an initiative called Ladies Recharge Movement. It's a movement called Ladies Recharge. And so what that is taking busy professional women, taking them out of their many roles of life just to step away and perform self-care. So we have 70 women. We're all going to the movies this Saturday together just to get away from the kids and the husbands and our businesses and our work and all the roles that we play in life, just to go and sit together, have some camaraderie among women, and have some fun. So those are things that I enjoy doing with Total Harmony Enterprises. But if I never had that pain in my life, none of this would have been birthed, and I wouldn't be able to touch so many lives today. So so my pain turned into a blessing.
Wow. I mean, Cheryl. I mean, Tammy. I'm just amazed at her story of empowerment. I'm just amazed. I'm amazed. And reason why I say that, and Tammy knows this full well, we come into contact with various people on this program, and I've been very blessed to co-host certain shows with Tammy Collins Markee and John, the founder of Millionaires in Training. And Cheryl Goode, you have been so transparent and so giving with your testimony that I know lives are being changed just by you sharing that. You know, oh, I didn't sign up for this, right? I didn't sign up to be a single mother. I didn't sign up for this process. The pain in the process leads you to a personal success, right? I can't get that word out. But I'm saying there's power in the process. There's power in it. There's in power, right, meant on the inside. And I have to say what you talked about even for leadership, Chere. Please forgive me. What you talked about for leadership, like if you can't lead yourself, if you don't believe in yourself, who is going to follow you, and what impact are you really going to have? And so I want at this time, because you have so much in you and so much you've already given out, even the law of sowing and reaping. Oh, my goodness. So many really, really phenomenal insights you shared with us today. I want to ask you a couple of questions, and because I don't want anyone who's listening to miss out on Chere Goode, because trust me, you all, this is good. So the first question, right? I'm going to rebrand you, right? Let me give you another tagline. I'm kidding. Chere Goode, please tell us about your future projects. Please tell us how to keep in contact with you. You have books. You have conferences. Can you tell us just tell the audience, hey, this is what I got coming up, and here's how you can stay connected with me.
Sure. So, one of the projects that I just started that I had mentioned is the Ladies Recharge Movement. So, again, that movement is all about performing self-care, because when I was going through my pain, I wasn't used to being by myself. So it's called self-care for a reason. A lot of women don't know how to just be alone or just spend time with themselves and be okay. So, they have to grow to the point where they just go and have dinner by themselves or go and have lunch by themselves. They feel awkward, So start falling in love with yourself again. And so the Ladies Recharge Movement, not only does it do that, but women don't spend enough time with women. There's a stigma that says, especially African-American women, that we can't get along. I am determined to disprove that. And so, already, like I said, on Saturday, 70 women, we've all signed up. We're going to the movie theater together. We're going to watch a movie together, have gift bags, take pictures. We have a photographer who's going to take pictures. So we're going to be my company's going to be providing experiences like that for women. So we're going to go bowling together. We're going to do some spa days together. We're going to have fun doing things together. So people can visit my website, which is totalharmonyenterprises.com. Total Harmony Enterprises with it's an S on the end of enterprises.com. And on there, they can find all my books. They can find my coaching program. They can also find a free tele-series that myself and one of my sister fellow nurses, the two of us are hosting every Wednesday of this month totally for free to talk about heart health, because we know it's the number one killer of American women, especially African American women. And women are less likely to receive CPR if they have a heart attack and need CPR in a public place. Women are less likely to receive the help that they need. So that's why the morbidity rate is so high for women. So just teaching things like that. But please, you can go to, again, my website is totalharmonyenterprises.com. And also on all your social media sites, you can find me at Chere M. Goode. That's my handle for all my social media.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. And, again, I know you're going to get an influx of people just wanting to be recharged. And I have to personally thank you for sharing these things. It was like I was sitting there listening to you, Chere, and I was going, she's talking about my life. She's talking about how many women are stuck. And, my ministry is Wise Living International. And I thought the living part, she's talking about it. She's saying we have to live again. We have to come out of these broken places.